Okay, welcome back to the SME Digest Business Show. The SME Digest Business Show. You know, when it is Tuesdays, I always say it's time for business. And you know, business is actually needed for every economy to thrive. Okay, so if you're sitting down, if you're anywhere you are right now, just stay tuned. Today is going to be another wonderful episode from the SME Digest Business Show, as we're going to be talking about the manufacturing, getting into the manufacturing business. I hope you're ready. Stay tuned. My name is Abi Oyetsunji, and you are on the SME Digest Business Show. I'll be right back. Okay, so you're welcome back to the SME Digest Business Show. Okay, today we're going to be talking about how to get into manufacturing FMCGs, fast-moving consumer goods. Okay, so the manufacturing sector is one of the sectors that is so untapped in Nigeria right now. That is because, you know, from my research, I come to discover that so many people think that the word manufacturing is a very huge, it's a very huge thing. You know, when you talk about manufacturing, you're thinking, some people will be thinking about Dangote, thinking about innocent vehicles and all of that. But guess what? I made a research and I discovered that in 5 African countries, okay, that produce cocoa, that plants cocoa, I discovered that the exports value of cocoa in these 5 African countries is worth $2 billion, 2 to about $4 billion. Okay, but guess what? The processing of this cocoa itself, okay, down to chocolate. You know, cocoa is used for processing chocolate and all that. Chocolate is worth over $100 billion. Can you imagine? Can you see the difference? So look at it. What is the difference? The difference is this. Hey, these people are sending their raw materials to these guys, and these guys are converting it into finished goods, which is very, very important, and making them more money. So why can't we process these goods? Why can't we start manufacturing and processing goods? Okay, so this thing I've seen out there is what makes me bring in a guest into the manufacturing sector today. Her name is Ogechi Madukoma. Did I get that right? Madukoma. All right, so today we're going to be talking about manufacturing. Welcome on the show, Ogechi.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm okay, I'm fine.
Wow, I can see you fine. How's business been?
Wow, thank God. No challenge, but we thank God for His grace.
Awesome. So Ogechi is into manufacturing. She's into manufacturing of FMCGs goods.
Yes.
So what do you do? What do you produce?
I produce household cleaning products.
Okay.
I produce everything that can be used to clean the house, from liquid detergents to toilet bowl cleaner to bar soap. Everything they can use as in cleaning consumables is what I'm into.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what was that thing that inspired you to get into the manufacturing sector? Now, you see, everybody is into buying and selling today. People like importing, buying stuff, sell. I want to buy, I want to sell. But look at you, you're going into manufacturing, producing stuff. What was that thing that inspired you to get into manufacturing?
Like you said, I saw the need. I saw the money in manufacturing.
The money.
I saw the money in manufacturing because, like you said, buying and selling will not give you as in what you actually want. But when you manufacture yourself, one, you're producing that product to suit you. You've discovered the problem. You're producing that product to solve that particular problem. And like you said, that is where, as in the money. When I saw around me then, because I grew up in a very not the highbrow area, so I saw that there is actually people that needed to use good quality household cleaning products, but they can actually not afford the big ones that we have in the market. So I told myself, I can still produce this thing, make it very affordable for them, and still make my money. Wow. Instead of buying the readily, as in the big brands in the market and reselling. But I can still produce this thing because of my low overhead and everything. I can still produce, sell to those as in low income earners that really need this thing, but they cannot afford the big ones, and yet I will still be making good money for me. So that was why I chose and I went into it. I know cleaning products are household consumables. There's always a demand for them. People will always use them every single day, and as they use them, they are replenishing them. So there will always be demand. So that's why I went into.
Beautiful. You know, I love the part when she said she's making a whole lot of money from. See, one thing we don't know is so many of you think manufacturing is very expensive, and I don't know. Okay, let me even ask how expensive it is going into this manufacturing of these consumables that you just talked about.
Well, it is not even as expensive as people want to think it is. It depends on what you really want. Like I said, before I even went big and start doing, I'll not even say that big. Like even people are afraid of, they will say Nafdac. Nafdac has even made it easier that you can register as a micro business, as a macro or whatever. I even started from my house.
Wow.
I started producing these items from my home. I was producing, I was selling to people, then I was still in paid employment. I would sell to my colleagues at work. I would sell to my church members, and I was getting feedback. I was improving on my product. It is after a while, I was able, because I got a grant though. With that grant, and I was able to establish my factory, and then I moved into the factory. But I started from home. I started small from home.
She started small from home, and you got a grant. We're going to be talking about that grant later on, because it's part of today's episode. Okay, so we're still talking about manufacturing, going into the manufacturing FMCGs. Okay, so now when people talk about manufacturing, they are thinking of the big machines. They are thinking of, all these expensive tools, or probably they need to import the machine that will produce all of these. Now, do you have all of these expensive tools needed in producing all these, and how were you able to get them?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I love that. When you don't know something, the thing seems like a very big mountain before you. But these days, it is not as difficult as it is to get into manufacturing. You must not be that very big brand. And even with producing what I produce, just with your bucket and then whatever, you can start small in your home. And even if you needed to use machines, we have locally fabricated machines here in Nigeria. There are people that can help you fabricate. You don't even need to start importing. There are people that can help you fabricate these machines, and they are so affordable. And with that, you can start producing.
Wow. So you mean you can get people to build those kind of machines that do this production and all this stuff?
Yes, sure.
Locally?
Locally, yes, here. Locally, even right here in Lagos where we are, there are people that can fabricate these machines for you, and they are so affordable. With that, you're good to go. Okay,
so you've heard that from the horse's mouth. There are people that can actually fabricate these machines for you. You don't need to import all these big, expensive machine and all of that. Okay, so how capital intensive is going into manufacturing? Like, but getting the raw materials, getting the machine. You've just said the machine are not that expensive. You can get people to fabricate it. But talking about getting the raw materials and, how expensive it is.
Like I said, depends on you. Depends on how you want to start. You can choose to start small.
Okay.
Like I said, when I started from home. I won't believe it. That was like 2013 or so. I started with as low as maybe say 5,000 naira. I just started. Then I started with just producing liquid detergents. So I would just go to the market. I'll buy the chemical that I need for just one batch of production. I'll produce, I'll sell, then I'll go again. But that was what I was doing until I was able to expand and so it depends on you. I don't want to start mentioning them, but you can actually start with as low as maybe a 50,000 naira, which as low as maybe 100,000. You can start. Then when you've started, you've known who your customers are, you've established a market for yourself. Then you can start thinking of Nafdac and the rest and start expanding. But for now, Nafdac shouldn't be your fear. Start for that's what I tell my students. Start before you start thinking of Nafdac.
Start from where you are. I was curious about that when you said starting small. I was going to ask, did you actually started with Nafdac, where you just said it?
No, I did not start with Nafdac. So I started small. I started selling to my circles. I sell to my colleagues at work. I sell to my church members, and I started getting reviews from them. With that, I was improving my product. And by the grace of God, saw my hard work, and He blessed me, and I got a grant, and I was able to move into a factory and
Okay, so we're going to get to that grant. But at what point did you get in Nafdac to come on board? At what growth level did you attain to get Nafdac to come on board?
It was at the point when I got that grant, because for you to get Nafdac, first you must get a factory space.
Okay.
And there's a specification for that factory space. One of which is that in wherever you want to use, people must not be living. It must be a standalone, as in location. Where though now they are making it easy with the micro thing, that if you're doing food, you can start from your kitchen, but they will have to come and inspect. These days it's easier. But when I registered, then it must be a standalone building and the rest. So when the first is to get a factory space. Once you get the factory space, you get the little machines that you want, that you know you need immediately, not the big ones. Then with that, you can start. It was when I got that grant, I was able to get a factory space. Then I get the few machines that I needed to start with. Then I started the Nafdac process.
Wow, beautiful. Now, talking about the factory space. Now, how big is this factory space? Does it have to be a very big warehouse opening that can contain bigger machines and all of this? Or can someone just use maybe a 2-bedroom flat or a 3-bedroom flat, or must you just have something very big or something?
Okay. Like when I started with a 3-bedroom flat.
3-bedroom flat.
That's what I started with. I rented a 3-bedroom flat before I actually moved to my purpose-built factory where I'm working from right now.
Wow.
But now Nafdac has even made it more simple. Wow. That they have what they call their SME decks, that you can even register a micro business. That even if it is food you're doing, if it is not chemicals, you can start from your kitchen.
And
they will come there to inspect. If your kitchen meets their standard, they will approve it. Beautiful. Even if you're doing chemicals, you can have a separate room, but you demarcate them, because they will tell you must have your factory space, you must have your raw material room, you must have your finished product store, you must have, if you can demarcate and have partition and have all those spaces, then you're good to go. So it must not be a very big building.
Wow, information is powerful. Information is powerful. So you can actually start from your kitchen space and even get Nafdac to come approve it. Okay, so what are the challenges going into manufacturing? Like I was listening to Innocent being interviewed on one of the media outlets out there, and he was talking about some major challenge. But then, irrespective of these challenges, he is still there. So going into the manufacturing business, what are the major challenges you're facing?
Like I said, nothing is big. We're small, but we still face our own challenge. Like I said, people, when you don't have the right information, but one of the challenges I see people face, they will tell you about Nafdac. But for me, I think one of the biggest challenges are raw materials. Like for me that do chemicals, most of our chemicals are imported. I know they are dollar. If I tell you how much chemicals I used to buy, I tell you how this prices skyrocket every day.
By the rate of dollar.
By the time you go to get your raw materials today, by the time you get there again by tomorrow or next week, the price has increased already. So one thing I think is we are really challenged with is getting our raw materials, and also power. You can imagine the cost of diesel today.
Definitely.
I was telling myself, I said like 2 years ago, I was still buying a liter of diesel for less than 150, 200. Imagine how much it is today, and all those things will add up to your cost of production, which will make your product very expensive or costly or something. So those are some of the challenges: sourcing raw materials, and then power.
So these are the two major challenges.
Yes, and also our road network also, because so many times I see my vehicle going to the mechanic, because after they fly the road and the rest of them, because of the bad road, that is also a cost, because you spend money fixing these vehicles by the time they get spoiled. So we don't have also a very good road network.
Awesome. Okay, so you're still listening to SME Digest Business Show, and today we're talking about getting into the manufacturing business. Okay, so manufacturing, as the words may sound so huge, it's still not that huge. You can start small, according to what Ogechi has told us today. You can start small, you can start from your room. As a matter of fact, she started with as low as 5,000 naira to start producing, little by little. Then from there, you get to expand as your business grow and as your customer base increase. Okay, so now I want to get to the money aspect of manufacturing. Everybody loves money. Everybody likes money. Now you've said it at the onset that there is money in manufacturing.
Yes,
how much money is there? In fact, how, like, if you start up with say a 50,000 or 100,000 naira to produce your product and all of that, what kind of profits can one make from such kind of?
Okay, it's also dependent on the particular product you're producing. Like if I want to take my liquid detergent that I produce, for example, if I produce, at least I should be looking at making at least a 40% profits.
Wow.
Net profits on that product.
After every expenses,
yes.
salary, staff, and all of that.
Yes, I should be making.
Beautiful. I
should be making at like a 40%, which is not bad.
Sure, definitely.
Which is good, so.
Definitely. Okay, so now is manufacturing the future of enterprise and business? Now, if you look at it, everybody now is going into tech. Everybody wants to do tech. You see young ones going into affiliate marketing, or this person is developing a platform, like a finance platform. Now, is manufacturing the way forward in Nigeria? And would you encourage people to get into manufacturing?
In fact, you don't even need to hear that word from me because it's been said that the lifeblood of any nation is, in fact, let me use that word manufacturing because we can't depend on as in importation. Because when we import other people's inflation and invest into our country. So, but when we, like we were discussing before we came into the show, when people start this sort of processing their gingers and the rest over here and selling, they are exporting our money to other countries, you understand? But when you process here, you do everything here, you get the chunk of the money. Like you also gave the example of cocoa. When we started. So manufacturing is actually the lifeblood of any economy. It is the future.
Manufacturing is the future. So you should be thinking of going into processing. You see, you can see what Dangote is doing out there. He's building one of the biggest refinery in the world. So that somebody said something on Facebook. Say if Dangote should retire today and go away out of business, who is the next person to pick up that manufacturing this in Nigeria or in Africa? Because as it is, manufacturing has put him there in the global map as the richest man in Africa. So who is that next person that is going to take over this thing if Dangote is not there tomorrow? So let's think about this and let's see how we can harness manufacturing, how we can go into manufacturing and all of that. Okay, so talking about funds, how were you able to access these grants?
Okay, thank you so much. I love that question. You know, I tell people, like I was on an interview say last week or something, they asked me same question. I tell people there are so many opportunities out there, but we don't want to take advantage of them. So many times you see people tell you, me, I'm not go try it. It's no man. They've already known those.
Already known those that they will select.
They will select. They selected those. But I'll tell you, I'll share my story. I will share a bit of my story. So like I said, I was producing this liquid detergent from my home. And before that time, while we were in school, we started this little investment club. I and my classmates then. Every month we contribute a particular amount of money we would invest in shares. So when we left school, we said we don't want this thing to die. We started moving it amongst our homes. So if they come to my house this month, next month another person will host us. So that particular month it was my turn to host. And when they came to my house, in excitement, I had already prepared my liquid detergent for them. In fact, I bottled it in this and used bottled water because then I was just starting. So after the meeting, I gave them a souvenir. I was happy. This is my product in excitement. And when I did that, one of them said, okay, have you heard about UWIN? I said, no. He said, there is a grant program by the former President Jonathan. That in fact the grant is a free money. I don't even know what grant is at that time. So he said, no worry, they've just closed. In fact, he was a winner in the first edition. He said, when they start again, I will let you know. I said, fine. So truth is, when they started, he told me about it, and immediately I went to the website. I applied. All my friends I told them, they said they were not going to that. Who no man? They selected those that they wanted. They were not going to try. I said, okay, let me try, even if I don't get it. Even if now no man, let me try.
Yes.
At least I'll know I did it. So by the grace of God, I did. I learned that they received it, but at that second edition, because of our power woman, them and Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, she said that particular year will be for just women because she found out that the previous year was more men got it. So that year was tagged You Win Women. So I learned that they got about 66,000 applications, and they selected just about 6,000 of us for a training. And this my small liquid soap business I'm doing in my home was one of the 6,000.
Wow.
And that was not even the end because they wanted just 1,200 businesses that would get the grant. So those 6,000 of us were taken to Lagos Business School for a 2-day training. After which we went in again, they opened the portal, we went in and applied again. And at the end, 1,002 businesses were chosen. And this small liquid soap business was one of the 1,000, you can imagine. And at the end of the day, I was given money. Free money to start my business.
Like free money, no interest,
free money,
nothing.
No, you are not even paying back. It's free.
Wow.
It's free. So they gave me that money. I got as much as 6 million naira then.
Are you serious?
Yes, I did. And with that, I was able to start to get a factory, got all my machine, and business started.
6 million naira. That is huge.
I got
that
6
is
million
huge.
naira. Wow.
That is beautiful. Wow. So from there, you had to plunge into setting up the factory and all of that.
Yeah. So those that were not doubting and saying, they now believe that, me, I don't even know a road for Abuja that got it. So they started, they're like, okay, when it is the next time, please let me. But unfortunately, before that next session came, the government, I don't think it was because of the change in government. He didn't get a second time. So there was they didn't conclude that edition. So You were like, wow, if I knew, I would have did when
Wow.
you did.
Beautiful. Okay, so I also remember, when Tony Elumelu started the CEF, Tony Elumelu Foundation grants, all of that. I think the first episode, I remember people that registered. So many people that registered were close to me. Me, myself, I didn't register because so many people that was close to me, they got the funds. And so many other people that were doubting then, that was how they missed. So
I got it too. I got
you got
Tony
the
Elumelu too. Yes,
how many
now.
grants have you collected?
I got the Tony Elumelu $5,000 in 2015.
Wow.
Yes, so I got it. So that's why I tell people, just try.
Just try.
Don't
Just
say,
try.
even if you think they've already known those, just do your best. Do it. It will not cost
Yes,
you. Just
yes.
your data. Just try. Even if you're not selected, your conscience will be everything that you tried, and at the end of the day, you might be one of the winners. Who knows?
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful. So just try whichever grants you have the opportunity of accessing. Just try. You can go to smedigest.com.ng. We normally post a lot of these grants. As a matter of fact, we'll be posting another one today. There is a grant for women that is, I think, coming up one Edo State, something like that. So just try, go there and access this. Register for these grants and apply. Who knows? Who knows? Just like Ogechi, you're going to be getting your own 6 million naira.
Wow.
And 6 million naira is a whole lot of money.
Right,
Trust
it
me.
did
Even
so-
right
it
now,
did- it
compared
did-
to then, that
it
was
did so much for me then.
a whole lot.
It did so
Talking
much
about
for me.
2013 or so.
Yeah, it was 2013, 2012.
That is a big money, in fact. But good thing you used it very well and you established your factory.
Yeah.
Unlike some people that use it to go and buy car and be flexing and all of that. Okay, so for how has the business been? Would you ever go back of manufacturing?
Never. I don't see any future for myself. What I say, I can add other business, but I think this is where God has created
Niche.
me to be. This is my niche. I love what I'm doing. In fact, that's why I've started also training other people that are interested in this line to come. If you know you want to come into manufacturing, come, I will train you, because
Wow,
the
okay.
first thing you need to do when you want to get in is to identify the niche, the problem you want to solve. When you've identified that, then go and get the right training for that particular whatever you want to do. So when you get then from there, you go for. So for me, it is manufacturing and it is household cleaning products. For now, I can add other businesses, but this is what the number one thing I do. And
Like, what can you train people on for manufacturing? What products can people manufacture? You can train them
Okay, I can train them on how to produce bar soap, laundry bar soap, the liquid detergent, the air freshener, the bleach, and I don't just train you. I will mentor you. I will guide you to ensure you start your business. I will tell you, give you contacts of where you can get your raw materials, cheaper and quality ones. I'll also help you to get cheap packaging materials and guide you all through the way until you're able to set up. Even if you want Nafdac certification, I'll also guide you. I have so many of my students that already have their Nafdac, their product approved by Nafdac, and they are glad that they did that through me.
You know, the fear with so many people is this Nafdac issue. Because I happened to be in a training one time, and these guys, they help with selling your products abroad on Amazon and all of that. Okay. So I discovered that majority of the complaints people are giving is this Nafdac issue. That Nafdac is difficult. Nafdac is, before I get my Nafdac, it's very expensive. How difficult is it really, like, from your experience?
Look, like I said, I don't think Nafdac is the lack of information that is out there. If you have the right information, it is not difficult. In fact, they have made it very, very easy. In fact, there was a time like 2 years ago that our VP, they were even doing it for free for people.
Really?
Yes, what you need to do is just to get your factory space. Like I said, if you're into food that is not chemical, you can even start from your kitchen. And once that your kitchen meets their standard,
so does the kitchen need to be very big, or just normal size?
Normal size, but if it has the necessary equipment, the right equipment that you need for that particular product to be produced. As I'm talking of food, or not chemical, but if it is chemical, they know it's hazardous, they will not want you to produce that from your home. But if it is food that is not hazardous, you can start from the kitchen. So they have what they call their SME desk now, where they attend to they call them micro businesses. So they